From New York, the greatest city in the world, it's The Late Show with David Letterman. Tonight, Jerry Seinfeld. And from ESPN, Dan Patrick. Plus Paul Schaefer and the CBS Orchestra. And now, Tom Cruise's best man, David Letterman.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. That makes up for not getting invited to Tom and Katie's wedding. Yeah. Thank you. How about the big wedding over the weekend? Did you folks see and read about the big wedding over the weekend? Ooh, I want to tell you something. A lot of security there in Italy. Security was tighter than Kenny Rogers' face. But Katie was beautiful. Did you see pictures of Katie Holmes? I mean, for one night, oh my God, she really was a Princess Cruise. What happened there? And they had a beautiful wedding cake. It was a white wedding cake. It was about 3 feet tall, 40 pounds, and it... Now that's Tom.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of. But today, everybody is talking about the big wedding. Even O.J. Simpson today was explaining how he would have cut the cake. That's right. You know, now, O.J. had this book coming out, and he was going to tell people how he might have committed the murders, and then there was going to be a series of television interviews about how he might have committed the murders. Right. Those have all gone away. Those have been canceled. Adios. It's too bad because he's been out promoting the shows and the book. Earlier today, he was on the Rachel Ray program, preparing veal scallopini with the murder weapon. Yeah.
If it was.
That's right.
Yeah, if it was the murder.
What did you hear about this? Over the weekend, Kramer, Michael Richards from Seinfeld, he's at a comedy club and he goes nuts or something and he starts screaming racial insults. Did you hear about this? I'm blaming Borat. That's what I'm doing. Well, President Bush was out on a big trip in Southeast Asia, and he met with Indonesian President Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono.
Wow!
Or as Bush calls him, Sonny. I wish I could call him Sonny. Tomorrow at the White House, President Bush will pardon the turkey. It's that time of year again. President Bush will pardon the turkey. And today, Dick Cheney spent all day torturing it. Pardon the turkey. There is Paul Schaefer, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. There's Paul Schaefer. Whoa, Nelly. What a wonderful program we have for you this evening. Jerry Seinfeld is joining us tonight. And also from the world of sports, Dan Patrick will be here from ESPN Radio. Dan Patrick.
Oh. I thought you said Danica Patrick.
Danica Patrick. That would be great as well. No, she is not here.
She is not here.
Dan Patrick.
Dan Patrick.
Dan Patrick is here.
He's very good, too.
He's awfully good. You know, we were talking about this. Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes were married over the weekend. Did anybody get a chance to see a little bit of it? What a fantastic affair this was.
It was?
We actually now have official footage from the Tom Cruise Katie Holmes wedding. It took place, I believe, just outside of Rome, Italy. Take a look. This happened over the weekend. Watch this. It's pretty unbelievable. There it is right there. What a lovely, that's plenty of wedding footage. Thank you. What a wonderful. And we'll get that Jerry Seinfeld out here, and maybe he knows something about this Michael Richards thing.
That'll be interesting.
What a mess.
What is going on with that?
I don't know. The world has gone crazy.
That's what I was going to say.
You know, how many folks smoke cigarettes? Anybody here smoke cigarettes?
No.
Well, you know, every year they have what they call the Great American Smokeout, where they encourage people to stop smoking. And it took place, I guess, last weekend. Did you see the Great American Smokeout?
I did not.
It was just tremendous. Here, look at this, the Great American Smokeout.
On Thursday, millions of smokers across America will participate in the 30th annual Great American Smokeout, a special day that challenges people to live smoke-free for 24 hours. And now that your cigarettes are off limits, there's never been a better time to try Chaw. Packed with the rich tobacco flavor you crave, Chaw is a fun and convenient way to get your fix, at work, in the car, even in bed. And while cigarettes wreak havoc on your lungs, the carcinogens in Chaw primarily attack your mouth, gums, and esophagus, leaving your lungs strong and healthy. Chaw is even popular among presidents. Chaw, it's what's for dinner.
It's Chaw. It's what's for dinner. Chaw. You know what it is? I feel a little let down. You know what it is? It's the, last week was Impressionist Week. It's the post-Impressionist Week letdown.
You know, I'm feeling it too.
Yeah, it just occurred to me what it was.
Yeah.
Well, we just have to buck up and go on, won't we?
That's all you can do, yeah.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Great Moments in Presidential Speeches. Take a look. Great Moments in Presidential Speeches.
That the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
The best way to defeat this enemy in the long run is to deny them the recruiting tools that are and recruitments made possible by resentment.
Recruitments.
You made that up.
Recruitments. Was that Cato Kalin standing behind the president?
I'd like to see that again.
I don't know. I just got. Was that the?
Cato?
Might be, is it? Time now for small town news. Here we go.
I wasn't born in a small town. Dave wasn't born in a small town. Nobody on this show was even born in a small town. But nonetheless, we're going to do a thing called small town news.
You know what this is? These are news items from newspapers from all over the country, usually small-town publications. That's why we call them small-town news.
Oh.
Yeah. Let's begin here with number one. This is from the News Examiner, Montpelier, Idaho. This is a little advertisement, I believe. R&R Hardware, don't miss our 4th of July sale, closed 4th of July. Oh, darn. Did we miss the 4th of July sale?
There's a reason.
Well, you were closed. This is from a Medicine Hat, Alberta paper. How many papers can there be in Medicine Hat, Alberta? Here's a political ad with a catchy slogan. Man running for some sort of office. Connect with Cox. There you go. Connect with Cox. Connect with Cox. This is from the Charleston, South Carolina Gazette. Officials are investigating an incident in Wayne County in which James D. Keene allegedly shot 3 men he thought were squirrels. He thought they were squirrels.
Yeah.
Thought they were squirrels.
Second identity.
Sorry, I thought they were squirrels. This is from the Daily Interlake in Montana. I hope you folks out there learn from this one. Nude skydiver injured when he lands off target. You have to be very careful. Your accuracy is critical when you're skydiving nude. Just a fraction of an inch off.
More than critical.
You'll be connecting with cocks. Before you know it, it'll be
medicine hat.
This is the Herald Journey, Logan, Utah. It looks like a holiday advertisement. It says here, hey kids, grab your parents and come to Cache Valley Mall for Satan's arrival. What? What? Satan's arrival? Satan is arriving? Well, that can't be right. Really? Oh my God. Who should we call? Satan's arriving.
Wow.
Make a note to notify the Air Force or someone. Satan will be here. This is from the Northwood, Iowa Anchor. Here's another one of those items that makes me think Americans can't count. Palmetto State Quartet. Look at that. They're going to be there. There's this. 1, 2. I'm sorry, I thought that fifth guy was a squirrel. That's what that was. That's all that is. This is from the Times-Gazette, Hillsboro, Ohio. The editors might not want to submit this edition for a Pulitzer. Clinton County men face pubic indecency charges. I guess so. Are you kidding me? Of course. Why wouldn't they? This is from the Calistoga, California Tribune. This is from the Police Log. Monday, July 31st. Nothing of interest happened. Rather than making something up, let's just move on to August. Not a bad idea. Let's just move on to August. This is from Salina, Kansas. Salina, California, Salina, Kansas.
Is that so? Wow, good for you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
When James Bedore was being arrested, the police officer asked if there was any contraband or harmful or dangerous items in his pockets. Bedore replied he did not know because the pants he was wearing weren't his. I wish I had a nickel for every time that's happened to me. I don't know, they're not my pants.
Great defense, though.
And finally, here's an item from the Times-Union, Rochester, New York. Take a look at this. Help wanted, boners and meat handlers.
Oh, come on.
There you go.
I wasn't born in a small town. You know what, Dave? He wasn't born in a small town either. None of us on this show were even close to being born in a small town, but we did a thing called Small Town News. Small Town News. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Jerry Seinfeld and Dan Patrick will be right back with tonight's Top 10 list and with Jerry Seinfeld. Thank you very much. This is Paul Schaefer, ladies and gentlemen, and the Paul Schaefer Trio. On the program tonight, Jerry Seinfeld. And look at this. I know you've probably been waiting for this. This is season 7 of the runaway blockbuster hit of all time Seinfeld show right there. Jerry and all his friends, now available in your DVD stores. This is one of those programs, you know, there's a handful of shows, like you have the I Love Lucy show, you have like the Honeymooners, and then maybe one or two others, and then you have the Seinfeld show that will be on as long as there is television.
That's right.
It will run forever,
That's
generations
right.
and generations. It's a little like this show, which seems in the audience that it is just going on forever and ever. That's a different sensation.
Sorry, yeah.
This actually will be on forever and ever.
Yeah.
Here, it just seems that way.
Seems like it here.
And Dan Patrick is on the program.
Annika
Ladies and gentlemen.
Patrick is...
No, it's not. It's a Dan Patrick.
Oh, Dan, he's great too, yeah.
Here's tonight's Top 10 list. Let's... category tonight, top 10 things overheard at Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes' wedding.
Whoops.
What a wonderful thing this has been. They're two lovely kids. They're very beautiful and talented and happy together. They were married at a wedding in Bracciano.
Ooh.
Bracciano. In Italy. 150 invited guests. 150 invited guests. The ceremony culminated in a 3-minute wedding kiss. 3-minute wedding kiss.
Wow.
That seems high.
Some...
Seems a little long.
Long, yeah.
That seems a little long.
I was going to say, yeah.
If it were me, people would think, oh, he's had a spell. It's some kind of a seizure.
Some kind of a stroke. Yeah.
Oh, it's a TIA. Don't move him. Anyway, the ceremony culminated in a 3-minute wedding kiss. Now, we had people over there, despite the fact that we were not invited.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't, no.
We had people over there.
Yeah.
Top 10 things overheard at the
Man,
wedding.
I'm glad we had people. How did they get in?
Well, you know how they got in.
No. Oh, yes, yeah, I know.
We have connections in Bracciano. Here we go. Number 10. Do you think Tom's going to jump up and down on the altar? Number 9. These hors d'oeuvres taste like steakums. Number 8. Quiet, everybody. They're going to cut the prenup. Number 7. It's nice that there's not a lot of hype surrounding this thing. Number 6. I think Tom is preaching to Matt Lauer about the dangers of cake. Number 5, wonder how much I can get for the bouquet on eBay. The bouquet on eBay.
Uh-huh.
Lovely the way that rolls off the tongue, isn't it?
I'm glad it's something does.
Number 4, I didn't know Armani made extra small tuxedos.
Oh, come on.
Look out, look out, look out. Number 3, how did Letterman get in? See? That's exactly right.
Know?
How did he get in?
Yes.
Welcome to Bracciano. Number 2, no, Mr. Gibson, it's not a Jewish wedding. And the number 1 thing overheard at Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes' wedding, we never should have let the guy who played Kramer make a toast. There you go. Our first guest is television's Seinfeld, and season 7 of that very popular program will be released on DVD tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the very funny Jerry Seinfeld. Welcome back to the program. Thank you. Hey, thanks, Dave. I was telling the audience earlier, there's just a handful of shows like this. You're in very, very good company. And the only other 2 I could think of was Lucille Ball's show, I Love Lucy.
You do?
The Jackie Gleason show.
Yeah.
And this one. But there's a few others that will be on television forever.
Get Smart.
Is that still on? Oh, MASH. You still see MASH a lot?
MASH.
Yeah.
You do?
But there's not more than a handful of these shows. So that's really quite an accomplishment.
We never knew it when we were doing it. I actually always thought it would be like a small, popular thing with a certain, urbane type audience such as yourself.
In the beginning, thank you very much.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I think I remember that it was sort of like it came on in mid-season, sort of.
It came on in the summer.
In the summer,
It had
that's right.
4 episodes. And you may not even remember this. I asked you for some advice when they gave me this deal to make a pilot. You were having a party, one of your Christmas parties at the Boathouse in Central Park.
Yes.
And I came up to you at the party. I don't know if you even have parties anymore. I wouldn't be surprised.
We have parties here every night.
And this is not a... This is not a joke thing, but I asked you for some advice, and you said to me, make sure you fail doing what you want to do.
There you go.
Do you remember that?
Yes, and not only did you not fail...
And I didn't do what you wanted to do.
That's exactly right. Well, but I mean, there must be some moments when you kind of stand back and realize what you and your friends, and that's the great part about it, you got to do this with your friends, have accomplished, and you're to be commended.
Well, they weren't my friends. They were cast
to play
as actors. They're professionals.
That's right.
It's not a documentary, Dave.
Really?
No, this is a scripted comedy show.
See, well, And forget everything I said.
Fake.
I don't
know
what
like
I'm
this, which
I
is
didn't know what I'm
so
talking about.
authentic.
Yeah. Now this Michael Richards thing. Well, now I don't know him well. I've known him a long time, but I don't know him well. And I can remember years and years ago at the Comedy Store, he would get on stage, and he was always a very dynamic performer. Dynamic to the point that often audiences were frightened. But still, we all got a kick out of it because it was in good fun, and he was and is a very funny guy. And then we see this thing today where he goes nuts in some kind of club and is screaming at people. Have you talked to him? Do you know anything about this?
I did talk to him. I talked to him today, and I was extremely upset about it, and he is extremely upset about it. And I asked him if he would come on the show tonight so that he could explain what happened, because it was just one of those awful things.
Right.
And I think he's a little mystified about what happened, but I think most importantly he wanted to...
We have him live via satellite from Los Angeles. All right, this should be Michael Richards. Michael, are you there?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Hi, Michael. Welcome to the show.
Hello, hi.
How you doing?
I'm not doing too good.
Yeah. Why don't you explain exactly what happened for the folks who may not know?
I lost my temper on stage. I was at a comedy club trying to do my act, and I got heckled, and I took it badly and went into a rage, and said some pretty nasty things to some Afro-Americans, a lot of trash talk, and...
Stop laughing. It's not funny.
And what were you were actually being heckled, or were they just talking and disturbing the act?
That was going on, too.
And did you...
I know, I mean, I hear you in your audience laugh, and it's I'm not even sure that this is where I should be addressing the situation. I've already heard you make some jokes about it, and that's okay, but I'm really busted up over this, and I'm very, very sorry to those people in the audience. The blacks, the Hispanics, the whites, everyone that was there that took the brunt of that anger and hate and rage and how it came through. And I'm concerned about more hate and more rage and more anger coming through, not just towards me, but towards a black-white conflict. There's a great deal of disturbance in this country and how blacks feel about what happened in Katrina. And many of the comics, many performers are in Las Vegas and New Orleans trying to raise money for what happened there. And for this to happen, for me to be in a comedy club and flip out and say this crap, I'm deeply, deeply sorry. And I'll get to the force field of this hostility, why it's there, why the rage is in any of us, why the trash takes place, whether or not it's between me and a couple of hecklers in the audience or between this country and another nation.
But Michael, let me interrupt here for a second and ask a question about had the people doing the heckling or the people who were not paying attention, had they been white or Caucasian or any other race, what would have been the nature of your response then?
It may have happened. I'm a performer. I push the envelope. I work in a very uncontrolled manner on stage. I do a lot of free association and spontaneous. I go into character. I don't know. In view of the situation and the act going where it was going, I don't know. The rage did go all over the place. It went to everybody in the room. But you can't, I know blacks could feel, I'm not a racist. That's what's so insane about this. And yet it's said, it comes through, it fires out of me, and even now in the passion and the that's here as I confront myself.
Did you think that somehow by being outrageous and completely inappropriate, that it might somehow make the situation, diffuse it a bit, or make it seem lighter than it was?
I tried to do that. You don't have the whole thing there with what they're showing everyone. I tried to jujitsu that, try to move. You know, you do that. I got a microphone. I'm trying, but it didn't work out. It was you talk about a bad night, you know?
Yeah.
That's, you know, it's just what everyone
What happened
says.
afterward? Did you talk to the people and apologize to them?
I went out there. I tried. I went out there, and I did talk to some people. I even went back to the club that night to get back on the stage and to work, to get back on the horse, as they say. And I did. I apologized to quite a few people, but I didn't talk to all of everyone. They left. And I don't know how to get in touch with those people. And then, of course, they've gone to press, as I think they should. The fact that there's that kind of solidarity and confronting those kinds of remarks, I think it's important for the Afro-American community to make sure this kind of crap doesn't come about. I'm sorry that it happened.
And having apologized, is there much more you can do, much more you would like to do?
I just have to do personal work. I'm still reeling from this. It's just been a few days. I don't know yet.
Jerry, is there anything you want to say to Michael here?
I know Michael many years, and I know how he works on stage, and none of that justifies what happened. But I've been talking to him today, and he's someone that I love, and I know how shattered he is about this, and he deserves a chance. That's why I wanted him to come on. He deserves a chance to apologize, and that's all he wanted. And thank you for letting him.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you very much, Michael. I appreciate it. I know it's difficult, and I certainly hope you don't have regrets about being on this show this evening. Thank you. All right, take care. How about that? Whoa. Wow.
That was good.
Yeah, I guess.
That was good.
Yeah. Well, I guess we can just go home now, can't we?
Yeah. Well, this will be a breeze to segue back into comedy.
Yeah. We'll be right back here with Jerry Seinfeld. Feel like you're going to burst.
You can't stand it.
Can't stand it. Jerry Seinfeld is here. Let's go on to other matters. How are things here lately? Everything good?
Everything's normal. Yeah. Just another day for me.
Yeah, that's good. Glad to hear that. And you've been watching how about the elections? Are you interested in the elections?
No.
The big midterm?
No.
Okay. How's the family?
Family is great.
You
Fantastic.
Have 3 kids now?
3 kids. 6, 3, and 1.
That's remarkable. Good for you.
Thank you.
There's 2 boys and a girl?
2 boys and a girl,
yep.
And they don't listen to me. And that's a great tradition, you know. And, a father, so I have found that I have started to use small-time mob boss tactics in my house, yes. I figure out things that they like, and then I threaten to hurt those things. You know?
For example?
Well, for example, I'll say, I noticed you've become quite fond of that little stuffed Curious George. It would certainly be a shame if something were to suddenly happen to him.
Oh, I don't think this is good.
You're at nursery school. He has no real protection.
I don't know if you want to be doing that.
And then, sometimes they'll make little Play-Doh animals. And I will break the heads off and put them in the foot of their bed while they're sleeping. So when they wake up, they get a little Sicilian message. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I just pray to God you're teasing.
I
Now, what about you get a completely new social life. You get the kids' parents and their friends and teacher function school activities.
Are you in any way? Because I can't picture you, nor can America, by the way. Drawn into the vortex of having a child and this, to me the worst part about being a parent to young ones is this children's birthday party infinity wheel of hell.
That's right. Infinity wheel of hell.
That's because you just keep going and you go through it and then it starts up and the next year and they're going and you pretend that you're interested in the parents. The kids This whole idea, oh, we have to go. My wife will say, oh, we have to go. It's Wiley. It's his best friend. He's 3. He has no friends. There's no friends. I take a sock. I put it on my hand. I make it talk. That's his new best friend. You know what I mean? And those awful parties and with their cretinous little friends that nobody cares about. And you start to envy the piñata at these things. I do. I wish that I was hanging by my neck being beat on with sticks. I hate the children's birthday
that's
parties.
not good again.
Do you go to them?
No, because I'm elderly. I don't have to go. No. Mom goes. Mom will make that trip.
Have you experienced this thing of this square inflatable cube it's like a portable mental facility for children?
Is it like the big bouncy
Yeah, it's
thing?
a bouncy, and they have a slot in the front, and you insert your child into the slot, and then the child shows you what their real personality actually is.
Yeah. It's just a portable lawsuit.
Yes. And then the birthday party clown that wants to talk to me about his comedy career. I just can't. I can't take it.
No, you don't need that.
No.
I wouldn't put up with that for a second. No. Yeah. Speaking of comedy careers, this is a great idea for a book. It's called I Killed, and it's Stories from the Road from America's Top Comics, and you were nice enough to contribute the foreword.
These are 2 buddies of mine.
Yeah. Rich
Scheidner and Mark Schiff.
There. And they put together, I guess, interviewed a lot of comedians.
Hundreds of a lot of great guys that have passed away since they did this. So it's great to have this record. If you want to know what it's really like to be a comedian, this book.
And these are the stories that guys love to tell each other.
Love to tell, yes.
And
yes.
it can't be bad enough.
No.
You just can't make them too bad.
True.
Yeah.
And there are some liberties taken to make them worse. It's true.
Of course, yeah. And any come to mind for you?
Me, the one I have in there is, and this is true, I was at Catch a Rising Star. I was formerly a big club in New York, and I was on stage, and some guy was talking, and one of the things you do when people heckle, instead of any sort of rant to go into, one of the good things to do is to stop. You stop your act, and then everybody hears this guy talking, and then the audience kind of pays attention to the guy, and then he realizes he's talking too loud. So I did that, and the guy kept talking, and then he took a glass and threw it at my head. Oof. And it went like, it was like one of those cartoon things. It smashed, and I stood, and I couldn't believe that someone had thrown a glass at me. So I stood there, and I go, I am going to stand on this stage and just enjoy watching you get thrown out. So I stand there, and a couple of minutes go by, and I see the club manager goes there, starts talking to this guy. And then he comes up and he comes over to me. He goes, come up here, come up here. I go, what? He says, you got to get out of here. I go, me? I'm not getting out of here. And they threw me out of the club.
For inciting?
Because this guy was an actual small-time mob boss.
Oh, my God.
And that's why I decided to have children. But
yeah,
that is what happened.
They're tremendous stories, and often it's that kind of thing that keeps you going when you're out there by yourself. Those wonderful stories. Yeah, I think so.
I can't wait to tell the guys this awful story. Yes,
that's right. Yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah, and how I can embellish it and lie. Yeah.
Now we have a clip here, I think, from the 7th season of the Seinfeld program.
No, you don't. What you have is, when we're famous for putting in tons of extras in these DVDs.
Oh, this
you don't
is an extra.
You don't just get the shows.
This is bonus material.
You've seen the shows.
Bonus material.
Right. You want more.
All right. What are we going to see here?
This is an animation thing that they do where they take a speech from the show and they animate it. And it was done by this guy, Yonker? Greg, I think it's Yonker? Anyway, it's Greg Yonker. I might not be Greg. I could be wrong about the Greg.
You're sure it's Yonker, though?
Definitely Yonker, yeah. And anyway, so he did this little thing. It's adorable, and everyone will love it.
Okay, and it's contained here in the collection of the 7th season of Seinfeld.
Right.
Let's take a look here. A little something from the man they call Yonker.
So I started to walk into the water. I won't lie to you, boys. I was terrified. But I pressed on. And as I made my way past the breakers, a strange calm came over me. At that moment, I was a marine biologist. The sea was angry that day, my friends. Like an old man trying to send back soup in a deli.
Hey, what did you do next?
Well, then, I found myself right on top of him, face to face with the blowhole. I knew something was there. So I reached my hand in, felt around, and pulled out the obstruction.
What is that, a Titleist? A hole-in-one.
Contained right here.
One of the many things in there.
Well, good to see you. Thank you very much.
David, thank you so much for helping my friend.
Well, I hope we helped.
Helping us
Yeah.
Deal with this whole thing. It was very nice of you. Thank
Good
you.
luck and continue to enjoy your family and everything.
Thank you, Dave.
Jerry Seinfeld, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back with Dan Patrick. Our next guest is the host of a very popular ESPN radio program entitled The Dan Patrick Show. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Dan Patrick. Dan, come on. Welcome back to the program, sir. Let's talk about your radio show. When is it on? It's on in the afternoons?
1 to 4 Eastern.
Yeah. And were you there at the beginning of ESPN? Were you one of the originals?
No, Chris Berman and Bob Lee were the originals.
You came in shortly thereafter?
I've been there 18 years.
And it was in the beginning, it was the kind of thing where people just, oh yeah, 24 hours of ping pong, who cares?
Yeah.
But now it's all changed, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty serious. And we used to do Australian rules football. You remember that?
Oh yeah, I loved Australian.
Yeah, but it was
football.
Usually these late night. If you were in college and you were drunk, it was great TV to watch.
Absolutely.
In fact, if you're still in college late night and drunk, it's still great to
Why not?
Yeah.
And it has, to some extent, has it changed sports in this country, or just the culture surrounding sports?
I think it's changed because I think kids nowadays look at it and say, can I dunk? Can I hit a home run? And therefore, if you can, you can be a superstar.
Right.
And I think that we single those things out. And I think that, there's culpability there of saying that's what's important in sports nowadays.
And do the players, do they look forward to getting on the highlight shows?
Yeah. That there's payola, I caught you with that one.
Yeah. And what about you when you were a kid? Big sports fans? Are your kids sports fans? They got to be sports fans, right?
Yeah, but there's a month out of the year where my wife turns off the cable in the house.
Really?
As they it's the get back to school.
Oh yeah.
Take cable off the household.
Ouch.
So, which is hard.
Right.
I make my living watching sports. So I got back at my wife. I take my kids to Hooters. And.
Can you do that?
Yeah. I did that, and actually, my son is so addicted to that orange color at Hooters, he'll even go to Home Depot now just to.
I didn't know they let kids into Hooters.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I guess
fun
that's
for
right.
all
It's a
ages,
family.
Dave.
That's right. It's a family.
Yeah, it's a family.
What am I talking about?
And the wings are great.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
right.
they are.
Okay, we'll be right back here with Dan Patrick.
Did you miss Jerry Seinfeld's recipe for cornbread? If you did, please send a self-addressed stamped envelope to I Miss Jerry Seinfeld's Recipe for Cornbread, care of Late Show with David Letterman, 1697 Broadway, New York, 10019. And keep it real.
We were talking about O.J. Simpson earlier. You've talked to him. You've interviewed him. You know him a little?
Yes, a little. 4 years ago, I interviewed him, and I did a 2-hour interview with him. But we were talking to him as a football player because people forget he was one of the great football players of all time. And we got through with a portion of the interview. We stopped, and then he looked at me. He said, "You think I did it?" And I said, "Did what?" And my body language was terrible. I was doing the interview while leaning, like he was going to pull out a knife and stab me, but I'm like asking questions like this. So.
Oh my God.
But I keep thinking, now does Fox take credit for canceling the O.J. Simpson special?
I don't know anything about it. I don't know. Yeah.
And plus, OJ, it was going to be hypothetically if I did this. Now Fox says hypothetically if we were going to air this with a, like, I think they could still salvage this, right?
I guess they could. Anything's possible.
Yeah.
What do you like in football these days? What does it look like to you now? The Colts, of course, 9-1.
Yeah, you know what, Dave? I picture Colts to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think they'll still be able to go to the Super Bowl?
I don't think they have any shot. No. No, I have the Colts against the Panthers. I still think the AFC is wide open. I don't think the Colts are as good this year as they were last year. I think the Chargers are better. I think it's going to be difficult, but I thought they'd get home field advantage, and then maybe this time they would go to the Super Bowl. Because
I thought the Colts seemed to be playing at a different level this year, especially in close games. Although maybe last year they didn't have any close games, so it was hard to know. But how about this kid in San Diego, this Phillip Rivers?
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
Well, LaDainian Tomlinson is the guy.
Oh man, 4 touchdowns yesterday.
Yeah, he's got 22 on the year.
Let me ask you a question. You're a smart guy. Could I, in full equipment, play one series of downs in the NFL without being killed? I'm 59 years old. I'm in okay shape. I've had heart surgery. Could I survive 4 downs in the NFL, honestly, or would I be killed?
Well, what position are we going to, like kicker? Maybe holder?
No, long snapper. I want to do something like an end, like a wide receiver. Wide receiver, there you go. 4 downs as a wide receiver. Could I do that?
And not die.
And not be killed.
Not be killed.
Yeah.
I think you would have a heart attack just being out there, Dave.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't even have to get a hit.
Really? So you're saying it might actually happen on the sidelines?
Yes.
I would drop dead on the sideline.
Maybe just getting dressed might do that.
Getting dressed. Okay, and quickly tell us about the Knicks. Isaiah Thomas not coaching the Knicks and not doing too well so far. I mean, it's too early to say they're awful, right? But is it too early to say they're awful?
No, it's never too early to say they're awful, but I view it this way. If Isaiah's the president, general manager, and the coach, he's got to fire. How does he fire himself?
Right.
And like the president would have to fire the general manager to fire the coach. So I think they're stuck with Isaiah Thomas. Though. That's sort of the problem.
That is the problem there.
Yeah, because
can't be solved.
he hired himself.
You should take everybody to Hooters.
Everybody go to Hooters.
Go to Hooters. Yeah. It's the Dan Patrick Radio Show every day, 1 to 4 on ESPN. Good to have you here again, Dan. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a great season.
Thank you.
We'll be right back, everybody. My thanks to Dan Patrick, who was here, Jerry Seinfeld, and Michael Richards. Now, tomorrow on the program, Hugh Jackman.
Oh, yeah. He's great.
Chris Elliott. And your 2006 NASCAR Nextel Cup champion, Jimmy Johnson. Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.
Send potatoes.